A new order paper response from the Liberals misleads the House of Commons on the dollar value of Trudeau's endless vacations. Today, I'll show you what Trudeau claims his vacations have cost the taxpayer, and then I'll show you just a few examples which prove him to be a liar. John Brassard, the Conservative MP for the Ontario riding of Barrie-Innisfil, asked the Privy Council office, so the bureaucrats who have the awful task of managing Trudeau and cabinet, for the costs incurred by the taxpayer pertaining to Trudeau's seemingly never-ending vacations since he took office in 2015. Here's what they claim, and I added it up. The Liberals claim a cumulative tally of $75,000 for Trudeau's vacations. $75,000 since 2015. They want us to believe that. It's ridiculous. And it appears the government is hiding some costs since the Privy Council bureaucrats don't include what the RCMP has spent or what the Department of National Defense has spent flying Trudeau around, and they didn't even calculate the food and booze on the plane, which is a lot. I've done stories on that in the past. For example, the RCMP has already admitted to spending $271,000 just on Justin Trudeau's trip to the Aga Khan Island. That's Billionaire Island, for those of you who forget that scandal. Then there was Costa Rica, another $200,000. And then Jamaica was another $162,000. So the Prime Minister's office was misleading Parliament. Again, much the same way Marco Mendicino, the Public Safety Minister, misled Parliament by claiming police services had asked him to invoke the Counterterrorism Law, the Emergencies Act, to end the anti-mandate Freedom Convoy protests of January and February of 2022.
Outside this chamber, Mr. Speaker, Ottawans were held hostage in their own homes. We debated those facts in this House. I remember my honourable colleague and I having an exchange during the debate of the invocation of the Emergencies Act, and it was only after police told us that they needed this special power to ensure that they could restore public safety. We're going to cooperate with the inquiry so that there's transparency so that we can make sure that this never happens again.
Commissioner Lucky, we've heard multiple times from ministers and others that the Emergency Act and the tools provided were specifically requested by police leadership. As a law enforcement agency with primacy for national security, did you ask the government or representatives for the invocation of the Emergencies Act?
No, there was never a question of requesting the Emergency Act. There was a question.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm sorry. So you never asked for it. Do you know of any other police leadership that asked specifically the government for the invocation?
No, we actually reached out to various police agencies when there was talk about some of the authorities within that they were proposing, and of course we were consulted because we were the ones who would be using those authorities. So we were consulted to see if they would be any use to police in the context of the Freedom Convoy.
But no police agencies ever testified they had asked for civil liberties to be suspended to deal with an inconvenient, peaceful protest at the inquiry into the use of the law. The Liberals are just shameless misinformers. And these misinformers have also missed some of Trudeau's vacations entirely, like when he went to Japan early so that he and Sophie could have a vacation. And of course, they've also included all of Trudeau's in-Canada domestic vacations, like the Tofino surf trips and the time Trudeau went on vacation surfing on the National Reconciliation Day, the very first one. It's a holiday that he brought in also. They also missed his Easter Fogo Island jaunt and many, many others. On some level, I'm on team vacation rather than team get your butt to work Trudeau, because the less Trudeau works, the less damage he can do to the country. But why can't these people just be honest with Canadian taxpayers about the costs? The lying and the misleading and the misinformation, it feels pathological. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. While today's story didn't require filing for access to information, it did require research. And we have a very special website here at Rebel News. It's called rebelinvestigates.com, and it's where you can donate to offset our research and our filing costs, because we will never take a penny from Justin Trudeau. We rely on the support of our viewers at home to hold the government to account. Again, that website is rebelinvestigates.com.